3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half. And
they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Vic Beasley able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Looking like the Vic Beasley of 2016 on that play, Charles.
That's the one that they want, too, because remember, that Vic Beasley, 15.5 sacks, led the NFL in that category that season. Dropped to just 5 in 2017. They also dropped into coverage more, trying to help out his team.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. It was Joe Hayden, the former Pro Bowler, that came up to get him down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They run, Devontae Freeman. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. Ryan, incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Well, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's Freeman. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now it's Ryan. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up. We've seen this offense do some unconventional things thus far, but they couldn't go for it on 4th down here, could they?
Could someone patch us into the head coach's headset? Punt the ball.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to go up top for and he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up in Charlotte. The New York Giants in town to take on Carolina. And it's the Giants who are out in front in the second quarter. Eli Manning has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Tom Brady, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Deion Lewis with both of their touchdowns thus far as he scored twice on the ground. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. His guys have the lead as we get you back up to Heinz Field and say hello once again to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Again, it's Bell. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he's got Rodgers. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Roethlisberger to his big target, James. All 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And a short gain down to about the 33. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
3rd and 2, now Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now it's Ryan. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get them.
Back now in Pittsburgh. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Now Ryan on 2nd down. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Ryan. Caught by Sanu. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a...
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd... Touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Caught here by Bell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. And, oh, look at that, a diving catch. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Roethlisberger. James has got it. Complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot, and he's have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Joe Hayden there to bring him down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Falcons on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They will run again with Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. This is Coleman. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Coleman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for Brokers. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Falcons, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.